Get ready to learn 9 lifts proven to improve insulin sensitivity. Squat, push-up, Romanian deadlift, bent over row, T-bend, overhead press, sit to stand, bicep curl, dips, or tricep extensions. Right now I'm going to go through the movements with no weight at all for a warm-up. Here are the squats. And this is a push-up warm-up. Warming up the Romanian deadlift. You'll notice I'm doing 4 reps of each. And the warm-up for the bent over row. Here's the T-bend, which is excellent for flexibility and balance. I've been doing these for a long time, but I still need a balance check. Overhead press. That's my Australian Shepherd groaning. Some people have impingement in the shoulder. If the overhead press bothers your shoulder, simply do a bent over reverse fly instead. This is the sit to stand. It looks easy, but it is excellent for strengthening the legs and improving balance. When we do these later, you're going to be doing them one-legged, which is a little bit harder. And there's a bicep curl, isometric curl, keeping the upper arm as still as possible. And then finally finishing with a tricep dip. Once again, on the shoulders, these can be quite challenging. So you can do a tricep extension instead. Have some water nearby, and now that you're warm, let's start the training. We're going to begin with a dumbbell squat. You'll be doing this training workout for the next 6 weeks. For the first 2 weeks, you can start out with light weight, really focusing on form. The concept is you only have to do 1 set to form failure. That means as soon as your form starts to break down, you stop the exercise. If you can do more than 15, the weight is too light. If you can't do 5, the weight's too heavy. We're getting into position with my perfect push-up bars. Shoulders are down. And I'm going to do as many full body push-ups as I can with perfect form. And as you can see, I can only get 1 more with good form. You'll see I'm starting to I call that dolphining. So I'm going to go to my knees and I'm going to do 6 more reps with excellent form. This is a close grip push-up where the elbows go straight back. If you don't have the perfect push-up bars, of course, you can simply do these on the floor, but the perfect push-up bars will protect your wrists. And then very carefully, 1 foot, then the other, and standing up. Romanian deadlift. Abs are tight, shoulders are down, gaze is down in front of you so you're not picking up the head. Clear the knees, stand up and squeeze the entire body. So you'll see that the weights descend just almost to the tops of my feet. Clearing the knees, my hips hinge back. Keeping my weight evenly in my feet, shoulders down, gaze down so that I'm not picking up my head. Keeping the neck in line, neutral spine. And here's the bent over dumbbell row. Training the shoulders, training the back. So important to train the back of the body. It can be easier to train the front of the body. Elbows coming straight back. Here's the T-bend. Now, these are very challenging for balance and flexibility. Don't overdo it. Don't try to push too far. Protect your back. Staying in line, neutral spine, coming forward and coming up into a standing position. As I said before, I've been doing these for a long time and they continue to challenge my balance. You can do this with one weight and the other hand on the wall for stability. Nothing wrong with putting a hand on the wall. Safety first. And the other side. Get your balance, get stable, and T-bend. As you get leaner and stronger, you can increase your range of motion, but be cautious at first, especially during the first 2 weeks of doing this training session. And you will do this lifting session 3 times a week. Next exercise, the overhead press. I'm only going to demonstrate the overhead press here, but you can certainly do a reverse fly if pressing weights over your head is not possible for your shoulders. And as a reminder, you want to be able to do at least 5 or 6, but if you can get to 16, the weight is probably too light. But during the first week or 2, really focus on form as opposed to getting to failure. Here's one of my favorites, the sit to stand, also quite challenging. It's another good way to figure out which is your dominant leg. I'm starting with my weaker leg. Notice that I have to put my foot down in order to keep my balance and stand all the way up. But on the other side, when my left leg is doing the work, it's much easier. And if you find this too challenging, put both feet down and simply sit to stand. This is another good way, if you can find a low enough bench, to train yourself to do a better squat as well. Next exercise. So here's a dumbbell curl, and I noticed I'm facing the camera instead of checking in the mirror. I noticed that I'm swinging back and using a little bit of momentum. So after a few reps, I'm going to realize this and I'm going to try to correct it, slowing it down and trying to keep my upper arms from swinging backward so that I'm not using momentum. And then here's the tricep dip. Very often, if you have issues with your elbows or with your shoulders, you're not going to be able to do the tricep dip. So I'm going to demonstrate the tricep extension later. But if you keep the shoulders down and packed and keep the elbows in, this can be a wonderful way to build muscle to activate that tricep region. But of course, if this hurts your elbows, here's the modification, which is the tricep extension. I'm going to demonstrate these without weight first. My goal in this video was to demonstrate the entire fitness routine with just 2 10-pound dumbbells, not changing weight at all. One of the most important things is investing time and money. You may be only able to get 1 set of dumbbells at a time, but that shouldn't stop you from training. And there is the training session. And now just a couple of form tips. Let's learn how to pack the shoulders. We want the shoulders down and tight, and you do that by pretending that you're putting your hands in your pockets. And then the other fitness tip is what I call zipping up your abs. You're going to pretend that you're putting on a tight jacket. So you're pulling in your abs from your belly button all the way up, shoulders down, and then you keep that engagement the whole time. I call this zipping up the abs to support the spine. And there you have it, your insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity improvement workout. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you back here soon.